friends, welcome. The end goal of this channel is going to be that I'm going to be actually teaching Tinies. So today is the first day of my bachelor's program, and I am working on a bachelor's program in early childhood education through the University of Phoenix. I am pretty excited. I'm a little bit nervous because it is like a new set of classes, a new set of like guidelines, new instructors. It is what it is. But you know, after the first week, it will be fine. Honestly, I feel fine now, but I am kind of eager to find out how she does on feedback. So yeah, I thought that it would be neat to document this journey. I initially had started documenting my journey whenever I decided I wanted to be a medical assistant. So for a little bit of background about me, I have my associate's degree in healthcare administration. I also went back to school because I thought I wanted to be a nurse. So I went back to school to get my certified nursing assistant certificate, and I completed that. I worked as a CNA forever. While I was working on my classes for my CNA, I also knocked out all of my prereqs that were left for my application into my nursing program. I'd applied to an RN program and an LPN program, and I was actually applied to both of them. And it was a highly, highly competitive school. So I was pretty proud of myself, but I had been working as a CNA for a good 6 months at this point because, you know, they only accept once a year. So I had been working as a CNA and I was like, no, I don't want to be a nurse. So I did not go to nursing school. I planned on being a CNA. Like, that was my goal. But it was very, very hard on my body, and I found that I was going to have to leave that field. And I've been a CNA since 2009. I had my associate's degree in healthcare administration since 2008. So I've been involved in the medical field for quite a while at this point. Within the last little bit, I decided that if I was staying in the medical field, I had to find a job that did not require as much lifting. And I was really into kind of more of the nursing tasks, but did not want to be a nurse. Because again, in my heart, in order to be a nurse at a hospital, you have to be able to do the CNA's job. I would not have been one of those nurses that became a nurse and suddenly stopped. Like, I'm here to pass meds. I'm not going to help you get my patients transferred, take them to the bathroom, put them on a bedpan, get them dressed. Like, that's still my job as their nurse. So that's kind of like, I could not do that. So I decided to go to medical assisting school. I did actually just graduate from medical assisting school at the beginning of July 2022. I also passed my national certification exam at the beginning of July 2022. So it's been quite a journey. Like, quite a journey. But I had decided before I finished this last term of classes, the terms at my other school were 10 weeks long, and I think by week 3 I had already decided that I need to leave the medical field. My heart, as much as I love to help people, was not there anymore. It's just a very hard and demanding field, and I had already decided that I wanted to try going back into what I thought I wanted to do whenever I was in high school, which was the early childhood education. Whenever I was in school, at my original high school, I was enrolled in an early childhood education class that was a dual crediture. So you got a high school credit and college credits. However, I did leave my high school mid-year because I had my daughter whenever I was 16. I think it was in the beginning of my junior year. In the summer between my junior year and my senior year, I got married. My husband at that point had went away to basic training for the Air Force, and halfway through my senior year, we got orders to go to Germany. And I was not going to delay going to Germany whenever I had like a kid and I needed like to be with him, or at least I thought I needed to be with him. So yeah, we went to Germany. They did not have that same kind of class there. And even if they did, I would not have been able to go into it because, I had missed several weeks. Like my term had ended there differently than it ended in Germany. So it just didn't line up right. But I did graduate from high school there in Germany. I just did not get to finish my early childhood education creditures. So I ended up deciding to go with the medical field because at the time I had 3 young children, separated from my husband, and I just needed to be able to get on my feet. And where I lived, that was the easiest jobs to find, was a CNA job. And I always worked in hospitals. I worked one night in a nursing home, and I just couldn't do it. So I've always worked med-surg floors, ERs, things like that. So it was pretty exciting, and it let me get myself established, and it let me raise my children. Fast forward to now, I am 39 years old, and I'm married to Sean. We have a blended family with 5 adult children. Our youngest is 18, and our oldest is 23. And now that the bulk of raising children is over, it was time for me to look at something that I wanted to do that made me feel fulfilled again. So here I am on this journey going back towards the early childhood education that I was aiming for whenever I was in high school and before. I realized that I would never be able to follow my dreams or do anything that I wanted in my marriage, my previous marriage. So yeah, and this is the very first day, I think I've already said it, but today is the very first day of my bachelor's program. I am excited about it. I'm earning my bachelor's in early childhood education at the University of Phoenix online, and my terms are 5 weeks long, and I'm really excited because, well, it's new. So of course I'm excited, but hopefully I keep this motivation because I'm going to be in a classroom as well. So yeah, hopefully like that helps me keep going even whenever, you're like, ugh, class. So today I will say that I did log in and I introduced myself. I replied to some of the other students' introductions. I did my reading and all the activities that go with it. I have my discussion board handwritten out on my iPad. I do need to type it. And I planned on doing that today, except that we got delayed because today we had record rainfall in Illinois and we had a lot of flooding. And although our house did not flood and we had no issues here, my in-laws did have an issue with their basement. So we spent several hours over there helping them get things up off the ground and trying to get water to, drain. And it definitely could have been worse, but it's still not fun whenever your stuff is getting ruined with water. And we're supposed to have rain for 2 more days, I think. I don't think it's supposed to be as bad, but the ground is already soaked. So yeah, hopefully that all goes well. But that was just crazy. I had actually started to sit down and do all of my work, and she called, and so we went over there. We had to turn around once or twice because the roads were blocked, flooded with water. So we had to go a different way, but we made it. We did get most of their basement taken care of. I mean, there's still things that they have to do, but it doesn't have the big standing water. It's got water that can kind of either, dry with fans. It's not standing water or anything like that anymore. So yeah, that was kind of why I didn't take you along with me at any point today. And then I think that at least for this first term, I'm honestly going to do this more vlog style. So if nothing happens throughout the day, I may just sit down like this and chat with you, just catch you up on what's going on. If I'm reading a book, I may record it and put some music to it and time-lapse it. You can kind of read along. If I'm building my garden flower beds, I may take you along while I do that. Like, this is just going to be a realistic look at the life of an almost empty nester, going back to college, changing careers, and everything that entails. That includes growing personally and getting new hobbies and, you know, all the things. Because I have been raising kids since I was 16, and now I still have kids in my house, but they are not as dependent upon me. You know, they have jobs and they are more independent. So I'll always be here when they need me, but it's time for me to figure out what kind of things I enjoy, what kind of things I like to do. So yeah, I figure why not give you a realistic look at what my journey to becoming an early childhood education teacher is. And it won't be the same for everybody, obviously, but I also don't find a whole lot of people documenting this journey. You can find a lot with medical fields. I don't find a lot with education until they're actually a teacher. So that's going to be kind of different, I think. There may be a few people who vlog the way, but a lot of people don't. I will say, though, that right now, as I'm sitting here with you tonight, I have a job at a hotel, and I'm working at the front office. I was hired for the front office, but I've also done laundry and housekeeping in the less than month that I've been there, like all at the same time. Like, I've been expected to be at the front desk plus laundry, be at the front desk and step away to be able to clean some rooms. It's just the way it is right now, and that's just, it's what it is. Like, I think it's like that in a lot of fields. It's hard to find employees, it's hard to find people who want to show up, it's hard to find just good workers. But I did turn in my 2 weeks notice because I have another job that I'm starting, and obviously I'm going to focus on education jobs. So I did turn in my 2 weeks. My last shift at the hotel is on Saturday, so I don't think you're actually gonna like come along with me to work because like I'm still technically like in the training, but it is what it is. So, but I can talk to you in the morning before and after, or halfway through, or you know, whatever. Anytime I'm not like where there's a lot of cameras and where there are a lot of people. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. I have Friday and Saturday to work. I was supposed to work Thursday, but I gave that shift away because it's 3 to 11, and I don't do 3 to 11. And since I did turn in my 2 weeks notice, I did not think it was important for me to learn that one. I will learn that next summer if I decide that I'm going back. They said they would take me back next summer if I want to. We'll see how their staffing is and if I'm up to that. But on August 15th, I start my first job in a school district. So I will be a 3rd grade resource aide. So I will be in a SPED classroom, and there will be me and another aide and the teacher. And I am excited about it. Since it's a resource classroom, I think it'll be a good place to get some additional skills and practice those additional skills before I step up into something a little bit more challenging. I also accepted a position with before school care at the school that I'm going to be at. So I will be doing before school care from 6:45 to 8:45, and then I will go to my classroom from 8:45 until 3:45. So busy, busy. but I think it will be fun to be in the actual district, getting some skills, learning some skills from the teacher, learning maybe from the other assistant, at the same time as learning from my school. So I'm excited. I've known about this for a while. So I've just been working my summer job because I have to have some kind of money. So, but with all that, I'm not sure what else there is to tell you right now. I am getting a little bit tired. It's almost 9 o'clock. I do try to put the timestamp for each clip in the corner whenever I do the edit, so it has like the date and the time. But sometimes my camera that I'm recording on, it's a Canon M200. Sometimes the time is not right on it, and I have to go back in and reset it, and I don't always do that before I hit record. So sometimes the time is a little bit off, but hopefully since I just fixed it, it's still good. It's crazy. I don't know why it does that. And I didn't notice it until I was doing one where I showed my phone was a certain time, and then I put the timestamp in, and it was like an hour and 15 minutes off, which was really weird because I would have thought it'd just be like an hour or like a solid time, but somehow it was like an hour and 15 minutes. It is what it is. That's technology. So I do try to stick that with every like changing clip. I'm also going to, while I'm doing them vlog style, try to chapter them out down below. So maybe as the big scenes change, or if there's like a big topic that I'm covering, I may timestamp that out. I'm not for sure. I'm not going to have time to like detail chapter, but I will try to chapter them out so you can find, you know, whatever part of my vlogs interest you. If it's only the teaching and not the gardening, like that. If it's only the college portion, I'll have that chaptered, like that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Oh, we will see how it goes. But I'm excited, and I want to get a picture, post on my Instagram for my first day of school. So, if you want kind of like more real-time updates, there will be a lot less detail in the writing, but you can always follow my Instagram. I will have it in the art up above as well as linked in the description box below, so you can find the more real-time pictures, and you may even be able to figure out what's coming up in vlogs. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go, though. I got both of my dogs. This is Chloe, and then down here is Bee. So, they're both chilling here, taking a nap. They're probably wondering why we're not in bed. Actually, we have about 30 minutes, so I may try to get my discussion board up. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow and just do my discussion board tomorrow. I also have a tour of my school tomorrow because, like, I went in for my interview and I was hired, but it was Juneteenth whenever I actually did my interview, and the custodians and, like, everybody was off, but they had already started the process of, like, stripping the floors and, like, doing all of the stuff. So I couldn't, like, have a tour of the school then, and I could have waited till my first day, but I emailed the principal and I was like, is there any way that I can do this? Because now that I have the two positions, I want to at least know where I'm going for those and kind of, you know, not be walking in blind. And he said it was a great idea, and we were supposed to do that tour today. But like I said, the roads were awful, and they were flooded, and he lives outside of town, and those roads were even worse. Like, the Facebook people, like the small towns around here, small towns, I live in a fairly decent sized city, metro area. They were all posting, like those police departments were all posting on Facebook the roads that were closed because of the amount of rain we got, and it was washing out roads. So I was like, no problem, we'll just schedule it for whenever. So he said, we'll just do 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I have that tomorrow. I'm excited. I hope I can figure out when I'm supposed to get my access card, but I have like questions like where I'm supposed to be parking. It's not like I work at a high school, I work at an elementary school. So it's not like they assign parking to like driving students. So I need to figure out if they do assign parking for staff or if it's just like first come, first serve. And then I need to find out where my classrooms are. And then I need to find out how I get into the school on the first day, or if I'm coming in before the first day to get like my access card so I can like swipe myself in. And so I'm working on a list of like questions for tomorrow's tour. So I doubt that I bring you along on my tour, but I will tell you about it afterwards. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to rest for the rest of the night. I will talk to you in the morning. Hey friends, I am off to a tour of the school where I will be working. I am driving, so if there's a lot of background noise, I will try to like lower it, but I'm not for sure if I'm going to be able to lower it all the way, and it may be shaky, but I'm just going to have to do what I can with what I've got for now. I'm not buying another car mount just to film in the car because I don't know how often I will film in the car. I get a little nervous at lights when people can see what I'm doing. But back in June, I used my associate's degree to get my paraprofessional licensure in Illinois. So I did that, and it all went through. I'd already started applying to positions for teachers' assistants and paraprofessionals because there wasn't any reason why my licensure shouldn't come through. So I had already scheduled an interview, and I actually got my official word about my licensure being okay and official the day before that interview. So I was able to go into that interview and say, okay, it's not pending anymore. I actually like have it. It's in good standing. It's good for several years. I will say the school is not in a district where my kids have went. So there's a lot that I am not for sure about, especially given how school districts can vary. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking for now. And I'm going to go where I know where I'm going. So I'm going to park in the front of the school and go in the same door that I did whenever I did my interview, because I don't know how to go anywhere else in the school. And I don't even have like a badge to go anywhere else in the school. So I want to ask when we do that, I guess, because I don't know. So anyway, I will talk to you a little bit later. All right, it is like 6 something in the evening, and I did make it to the school and I did my tour. They are the last of the schools in that district to get cleaned. So right now it's kind of messy there as far as like they have everything pulled out into the hallway, and like desks are everywhere because they are stripping the floors and waxing them, which is, you know, understandable. They're in that last little push before school starts. So I did get to see where the resource classroom will be that I will be in. So I know how to get to there. And then he did show me the rest of the hallways that he could, that they weren't actually like waxing. And then he told me where 2 of the 3rd grade classrooms were down one hallway, but they were waxing the floors in that hallway, so we couldn't like go down there. And then he showed me where the other 2 3rd grade classrooms were that are down a different hallway. They said that they had to divide them up this year. So I needed to know that because of course I will pull and push from those classrooms as needed. And then he showed me the cafeteria and the kitchen, and we talked about where the before school care is going to be. So I have that down. He told me that if I wasn't doing before school care, I would come in this one set of doors because it's super close to where my classroom is. But since I'm doing before school care, I'm actually on the other side of the building. So there's another set of doors over there, closer actually to where I will be parking. So that was nice. I know where I'm supposed to be parking and I know which doors to use. I cannot now remember exactly how to get to where I'm going to be for my before school care, but yeah, I'll have a day where I can go in and kind of not really explore, but like I should have some time to make sure that I know where I'm going. I will probably wait until like the first week of August is done, but I do need to find out if I need to be there on the 15th for before school care, like the 15th and 16th, because those are days the students aren't actually even in. So it could just be that, yes, we're going to be there because we're going to establish like what all we're doing and like set like the routine, but I don't know. So yeah, I need to find out about that if they don't message me first. I did ask about my access card and he said he's going to email somebody, but I will also be having to go get my ID picture taken. And he said that will happen probably the second week of August. So yeah, pretty exciting. It's moving along. I do feel better now that I kind of know how the school is set up inside, because when I did my interview, that was the only place I went, and they have security doors that you have to be buzzed in and out of, and you know, things like that, which is fine because school safety and everything. So it is a different setup than any of the schools I have been in, but it's not bad. And I think it will be easier for me to remember more of it once they actually put things back together, because things were like torn apart and desks were everywhere and things were everywhere while they were like waxing classrooms. So that was exciting. Feels a little bit more real. It'll of course feel real once I have my access card and my ID photo card. But yeah, I just thought I would share how it went and that I do feel better now that I've had this tour. It's just kind of overwhelming whenever you know that that's where you're going to be, but you don't know where you're going within the school. So it essentially all ends up around the same place. There is some construction going on, so he's like, there's going to be a door here when they get done. So it was funny, but they are definitely still very, very busy in trying to get everything done before school starts. And like the office staff was all in and teachers were in. A couple of the classrooms were already like done, so some of those teachers could be in their classrooms. So he did tell me the name of my teacher and the other aide, and there was so much information that I do not remember what those names are. So I guess I will find out soon enough. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. If you have comments, questions, suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. If you want to follow me on my journey, subscribe. If you're not feeling chatty, give the video a thumbs up so I know you watched, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.